term vegan wasn't coined until 1944 when a British woodworker named Donald Watson decided that there needed to be a name for strict vegetarians who also abstained from dairy and eggs. Vegetarianism wasn't anything new. A non-animal diet had been promoted throughout history by scientists, politicians, philosophers, artists, and many religious sects as well. As a matter of fact, some of the world's greatest figures were known vegetarians. And it's only gained momentum since. By the time Watson passed away in 2005, his 25 newsletter subscribers that he had in 1944 had blossomed to over 250,000 self-proclaimed vegans in his own country, and another 2 million in the States. What began as just a word to distinguish a vegetarian diet from a stricter one has now evolved into something far greater and into a way of life. Being vegan now not only means omitting meat, dairy, and eggs from the diet, but eliminating all animal products and byproducts from food, clothing, cosmetics, and beyond. Generally, in the physical and tangible sense, vegans tend to avoid things like meat in all of its forms, dairy, eggs, gelatin, fish, honey, animal-based glycerin, bone, lanolin, pearls, wool, fur, leather, silk, down, will sometimes even avoid certain types of sugar that were refined by bone charcoal, or only drink beers and wines that are not filtered or refined with animal products. Politically and spiritually, vegans typically fight for animal rights and liberation. They're against animal testing, experimentation, and exploitation. Therefore, you will not see a vegan usually step foot into a zoo, in a circus, at a rodeo, horse race, dog race, horse-drawn carriage, things along those lines. Oh yeah? Vegans are expert label readers and are in a perpetual state of research and transition as new information becomes available to them. That being said, I've been vegan for about 4 years now for all sorts of different reasons, political, environmental, but most of all, ethical. Look, if you're asking me that question because you really have deep, genuine concern for plants and their non-existent central nervous systems, then I'll make a deal with you. You go watch some video footage taken at a slaughterhouse, and I will watch a strawberry harvest. I will try to keep animal rights completely out of this discussion, as that's a totally other issue in itself. Two things come to mind when talking about human rights and veganism. The first is the health and well-being of slaughterhouse workers. Slaughterhouses don't pay their workers very much at all. Like most businesses these days, they operate quickly and as cheaply as possible. According to an article by Jennifer Dillard, some workers are required to make 5 cuts, that is, to slaughter a cow, for example, every 15 seconds. Iowa reports an average of 9.8 injuries per 100 employees per year. The figures do jump to 16 manufacturers per 100, and 51 per 100 meat packers are injured or ill every year. I'm not talking paper cuts and sprained ankles, people. I'm talking about far more serious issues. Things like and death. There are even several stories of men falling into meat grinders while on the job, which some would find grotesquely poetic. Another type of damage from which slaughterhouse workers suffer is psychological. A former slaughterhouse worker turned activist, the late Virgil Butler, writes of his mental anguish in his blog. On more of a personal note, I, within the last year, had a terrible dream that I was sitting in a rocking chair and one by one animals, mostly things like cows, geese, rabbits, were handed to me to hold into my arms, and I had to take a giant knife and cut off their heads. And I just remember in this dream, I'm sitting in this rocking chair covered in their blood, and I'm cradling these animals and sobbing and telling them, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And then I woke up in a pool of sweat and tears. If a dream, a brief little dream, can make me that upset, I'd imagine slaughterhouse workers are pretty f***ed up. The second thing that comes to mind is world hunger. Here are some facts by the veganist author Kelly Freston. I don't think I need to say anything more to that, but it makes me think, if we're wasting that much food that could otherwise go to the hungry, what else are we wasting? Here's some more facts by Kathy Freston. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization put out a report that concluded that meat production is a large contributor to land degradation, global warming, and air pollution, water shortage. For example, according to Patrick Brown, a Stanford biochemist, it takes 1,000 liters of water to produce just 1 liter of milk, and water pollution and loss of biodiversity. Another major world issue that I know veganism can help alleviate is our overall health.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Take a moment and think about the people you love. How many are on medications right now? How many suffer from heart disease, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, impotence, or cancer? Vegans are at an extremely low risk for all of these things, ailments that are so common here in America, and can even sometimes be reversed by switching to a vegan diet. Vegans consume 0 cholesterol, and some of the foods we eat can even block and help fight off cholesterol that we already have. We also spend less on healthcare every year. So why have I chosen veganism? I choose to be a vegan because I believe there's something more out there other than just myself. I am vegan because I'm giving a voice to those who don't have one. I am vegan because I am being the change that I want to see in this world. Peace.